Welcome, everybody. It's February 7th, 2024. DYOR Live, and today, Operation Phoenix. And no, I can't play the guitar, if you're wondering. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're coming to us from. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the Digital Media Network. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. It is February 7th, 2024. Got a great show for you today. Got the Operation Phoenix guys in the house. And as always, got Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, in the house as my co-host. Pedro, what's happening?
What up, brother? How you doing? How is your day going, man? Dude,
good. It's been going good. We've been getting ready for this big show today. Got a big group come on. Got the chat room is full here. The stream is full. Yeah, all is good.
We got the doctor in the house, as I can see, Mr. Jansen. We've got a few of our other regulars. Also want to shout him out as well. Kaching is there. Shoot, we got Dado.
Whole fist talk.
Kaching, welcome Kaching in the house. Pedro, why don't you give everyone the social media talk?
Definitely. All right, guys, if you guys don't mind doing me quick little faves, I would appreciate it. Please hit that like, subscribe button. And if you can, please, if you don't mind, your typical social media that you typically watch, please post us on that. Say something cool like, these guys are amazing. That guy with the long hair, he rocks the mic.
Self-promotion works the best, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And then as always, guys, please just hit that like button and subscribe. That always helps. And tell me once, now that we've got a huge crew here, guys, tell me either where you're at, where you're coming from, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, tell me where you would love to be. Now, everybody here knows I'm a San Diego guy, grew up in California. So me, I would love to be on California beach, sitting down, drinking a Mai Tai, or chilling and hitting the surf, or being on space.
Welcome, Space Cat.
Absolutely. Alrighty, guys. So let me jump right here into the nice little BTC ad.
What's happening in the markets, Pedro? Tell us what is happening. I'm going to run through some comments while you're doing that, so you might hear me butt into you. Just keep on rolling.
Yes, sir. All right, so as you guys can see here, as always, I've been talking about this 100 period moving average. I wanted to see volume come in here. We had some volume, but it did hold, but we did pierce that 100-day period moving average. So I'm expecting us to see, honestly, a retracement back. And the reason why I say that is if you look at the last few days, we've been consolidating. And I've been talking about the volume dropping off here dramatically. And so for me, when we start to see that type of stuff as the market is moving up, this is basically a rope-a-dope. I always talk about how the institutions are now involved in crypto. And so the same antics that they pull with the traditional markets that I trade with the S&P 500 futures and everything like that, it's the same type of stuff that they are now doing. And so this is a typical thing. Most people don't really pay much attention to the volume. As you can see, we're moving up. But as many of you guys can see, this consolidation period is putting a lot of supply wicks here. These supply wicks, honestly, are starting to, they're getting longer and longer, which means that means there are sellers stepping in, putting in positions. So when we jump back down to the actual market in itself, the intrinsic parts of it, you'll see here, as you guys always know I go to look at, is what are the actual buyers and sellers doing? So buyers are stepping in. As we know, our good old friend, Mr. Sailor, bought about 800 plus.
Back in the market, Sailor's buying again.
So as you guys can see here, we're going to be starting hitting some resistance level on the buying part of the markets. So you can see here as we blasted through the 50 period moving average, but we're hitting this really strong 58, this 89 here. So it's just going to hold. We'll find out. We're in between that 89 to 100 period moving average on the buy long side of the market. In addition, the shorts are picking up a little bit of their positions here. As you all can see here, we've been consolidating here, but they really pushed the market up the other day and then sold off their shorts as BTC started to pump. But they're positioning a little bit more so than usual. So we'll see what happens here on this aspect of BTC. Now, also on the other end, as you are also looking, many of you guys know that I look at Ethereum as well. So let's check out ETH here real quick, because ETH is really interesting. ETH is now starting to break out of the consolidation period. This should have pushed Bitcoin up. We should have seen some real stuff coming in. So I don't know if this is typically the institutions already prepping, excuse me, pardon me. If this is the institutions prepping for the ETF coming in, probably by mid-July-ish. I know they've been talking a lot about it. Some people say not till next year, but I think the institutions are really going to want to push before the major push for the bull market. I think they're going to want to get in on this. So this. I think
you're right, Pedro. I think they're loading up, and people are anticipating the ETF FOMO pump, just like it did for BTC. That's my opinion, but I think it's happening.
Yeah, and so this is really interesting. But also on the back end, I'm not seeing a lot of buyers and sellers. And so what's really interesting to me is the fact is that volume is dropping off, right? Like we're seeing it, watching it right here in this huge consolidation period. And at the same time, we're pushing up. So to me, it could be them pushing it up to drop it back down to push it up even further. Like I said, I've been talking about these lower levels of the 2000 mark, that 1743 area in Ethereum, coming back down, retesting this, and then shooting back up. As we all know, before the huge rally that we typically see with the bull market, there's always a retesting of the lows. We have not had that retesting of the lows, so I expect to see that type of retracement. And I could only hope and pray, right, that we'd actually retest the lows of that $1,000 area. If I, man, I'm gonna load up. That would be my baby. So,
well, Pedro, you were telling us to load up on ETH. I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, and you're like, it's coming. It's coming.
And look, we're sideways. I mean, we can see we barely touched my supply area up here, and we saw the sell-off. So I'm just expecting it. But like I said, the market is always right. You can buy in here. We tapped that 89 period moving average.
Just tap it in.
Tap a room. Don't you want to go to your home?
The price is wrong, bitch.
We got it. You got it in. Yes, dude. Tap in a room. The backstab behind it is this. So when we look at the longs, we can see that the longs are kind of slowing down on the actual ETH market. So even though it's moving up, the actual longs that are coming in on the actual ETH spot coin is slowing down here. So you can see we've had a lot of consolidation period. So I want to see if we're going to move up and continue up. I need to see this pump like we saw here 3 weeks ago. So we'll see what's going on. On the short side of ETH, shorts are stepping in. Excuse me, for whatever reason, my stomach wants to do its own thing. Forgive me. You can see right here.
We didn't hear it. Trust us.
Good. It's pumped with me here. So you can see here that we're actually messing with some of this stuff here. It potentially looks like shorts are coming in. So again, I do expect to see, and unfortunately, a turnaround, right? Like they're setting up. So anyways, long story short, some good times. Hopefully we'll see some big movements in the market here soon. Talk to me, Goose. How you doing?
Doing well, Pedro. Doing well. Just a note for you viewers, the YouTube DVR feature has been a little problematic lately. Sometimes it's supposed to bring you into the live when you join us, but sometimes it's bringing you back to the start and you're commenting on things that are old. If you hear me, make sure you're live and hit that button on your phone or desktop, whatever it is that says live. Make sure you're live. You can always go back and watch what you missed if you started late. Also, if for some reason you're sneaking this in at work and you're watching on your phone and you gotta multitask, you can always switch over to the Twitch app and just search DYOR Media, and you'll be able to listen to us in the background if the boss is coming, otherwise known as the spouse. But anyway, let's see. We're the best community. They'll have a lot of great comments here, a lot of ones to go through and all that stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. But Pedro, thank you for the chart update there. This time, while I've got everyone here, is when we have to talk about the sponsors really quick. And as I like to say, projects visit our show and they do not pay us for anything. Nothing that you hear Pedro and I talk about is paid for here. Guests come on our show basically because we want to have good shit on our show. So that's that. But we do have sponsors, and below me right here is a group called Camuso CPA. Camuso CPA, if you're in the United States and you need a crypto accountant, Patrick Camuso of Camuso CPA does that. Patrick is it's his specialty, and a lot of the cases he takes for people are ones that went to their regular accountants who thought they could do crypto accounting and just didn't do it right, and they filed incorrectly, and they got a note. If you're one of those people that's getting a note from Binance or Kraken saying we've submitted your info to the IRS, and potentially you got that letter from the IRS saying we noticed you used Kraken and things weren't reported correctly, Patrick is somebody that can sort that out for you. Camuso CPA. Also, our channel sponsor is a group called Audit Chain here, and Audit Chain is a unique group here. Audit Chain is a group that uses the blockchain validating nodes to audit financial reports of public companies. That's right, they use the blockchain. Blockchain technology is auditing traditional finance, TradFi groups and companies. And it finds errors, finds balance sheets out of balance, missing disclosures, all the stuff that short sellers love to find. As soon as something's filed, things used to take analysts days or weeks to figure out. Audit Chain now does in 2 or 3 minutes. So go check out auditchain.finance, a great sponsor. Now quickly do a few social media things before we get to the heart of the matter here. Let's see. What do we got here as far as let's go back to this view. Got too many views here. Portagas DA says we are the best community in 2024. Who are you referring to? Who's we? Who's on the show today? Operation Phoenix. That's who.
Operation Phoenix.
Tev man, he came over to Twitch to watch from YouTube so he could have it in the background and just listen. Thanks for doing that. Pedro says, how's everyone doing today? Well, this is the fun part of the show here, and gentlemen, this is your cue. I'll have you on in a minute here. I do have you muted, but I'll unmute you in just a second. The fun part of the show is there's nothing better than bringing on people to talk shop about. You know, you get to talking with the same people about shop, and even though Pedro and I can go hours, talking about these things as we do long shows, it's fun bringing in new people to talk about things and get a different perspective of stuff, and also hear about new products and why that new product is out, because new products need to fill a niche, and there's plenty of projects that come out that don't fill a niche, whatever you want to say. And you look at their chart, and it's an upside-down hockey stick. Just shoop, death. And there's other ones that are a right-side hockey stick because they fill a niche or fill a need by the community. And that's where I'm going with this, with Operation Phoenix here. Let me see if I can bring these guys on. Gentlemen... Let's see if I can do this correctly here the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, Operation Phoenix, Defi Shaun, and Squidgrow Joe. Look at that. I even got the lower thirds right. That's how it is. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Good. Good. Thanks for bringing your awesome crowd here today. I really appreciate that. Pedro and I sometimes have very big shows, and sometimes there's only 4 or 5 people watching, as you guys streamers know. That sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not. But let's get to the heart of the matter. You founded Operation Phoenix.
How are you?
We got a delay here. Check 1 2 1 2.
Might be it.
Check.
Geek. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to count to 1 2 3 4 5. What do you guys hear?
You were breaking up a little bit on my
1, 2,
end.
3, 4, 5.
All right, hold on. Let's
Joe is.
I'm pretty.
Am I delayed?
1 2 3 4
No,
5.
you're good.
Joe,
Okay.
Joe, you got a delay there? Okay.
Am I?
Make sure you're not listening to the YouTube feed.
I think
Make
I'm
sure you're
delayed.
listening. I think Joe's listening to the YouTube feed instead of the studio feed here.
Am I delayed?
No, you're good. Actually,
Okay. What about Sean?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Sean's
Can you guys hear me?
delayed. That's what it is.
Sean is delayed. Sean, make
delayed.
sure you're listening to the studio feed, not the YouTube feed.
Where do I see that at? I'm pretty sure I'm listening to.
Check 1, 2. Right at the bottom here, there's a speaker with an X on it.
You might have to come back in. There's a bit of a lag on the audio with the video. That's what it might be. Yeah, it might be a lag on the audio and video.
All right.
You might have to come back in the resync.
All right, Sean. How's our delay here? I guess the delay is a lot. All right, everyone, give us 1 second to sort this out here. Well, I don't know why there'd be a delay here. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Only the finest content here at the DYOR Media Network here. I think Sean is doing a reboot. I can looking at the studio here, and he's not back in yet. But Joe, here comes
there
Sean's
he is.
back. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. How's the delay? Delay.
I can't hear him.
Sean, you're muted.
Hey, is it delayed?
Oh, perfect. There we are.
Hopefully
Yeah.
that's a lot
We're good?
better now.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Listen, it's the weirdest thing. If we can set this all up. Everything will go super smooth as soon as we go live. It is amazing. Everything just hits the fan, and it's just like, got him.
All right, let's start this over again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Defi Shaun and Squidgrow Joe. Thanks for coming on. And as I'd like to say, let's get to the heart of the matter here and say, what caused you guys to say, we used to be, we are YouTubers, we were live streamers, we're part of a community, a number of communities, but we're part of the Safemoon community, and let's gather up that community and then start our own token. What was the genesis of that idea?
Yeah, so I'll go first. So I kind of was, obviously an investor in the space first, and then kind of turned into a developer, going around to different communities. So I was actually more of a developer first, I guess you can say, before a YouTuber. So I got into YouTube, love doing that, will never stop doing that, thoroughly enjoy it. But yeah, we want to release something real, something that everyone can get behind, something that's safe. And obviously it's one of those things, do it yourself if you want to get it done right. So that's kind of what led us into the position we're in now.
And now you've gone from the critic to the one getting critiqued.
How does that?
Yep.
Yeah, you've moved from the one on with the voice, telling the community what the story is and what you want to see happen, what's going wrong. But now you're the one saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing, and we're doing it right. Please believe me."
Yep. And yeah, the only way we can prove it is to show by our actions. So like when we first launched, our biggest thing was having utility day one to show that we weren't just talk. We weren't just saying, hey, Safemoon, come behind us, but to actually have that utility go on day one. We wanted to make sure everything was safe. Contract will eventually be renounced once we kind of get our tax thing lowered, but we have our audit done. You go look at the contract, there's tons of safety measures in it to protect it from us, which like I said, you can see in the audit. So everything we've done has been to show that we're here doing the right thing, doing what we're supposed to be doing, not just saying, hey, listen to me, this is what I'm going to do. But Joe, if you want to speak on it as well.
Yeah, I started as a YouTuber talking about Safemoon. And, when I found out that the CEO didn't care about the holders as much as I care about the holders, where he was stealing,
Right.
Things went south. I went against him, and then his lawyer sent me letters telling me to stop or I'll be sued. I kept doing it.
Come on, it's free speech.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. It's not. Hey, legal threats are always something that you can also do on the free speech as well.
That's true. That's true.
And I was threatened legally, repetitively, I kept doing videos. I kept saying, no, I'm still gonna do what I can for the holders. Safemoon obviously went to where it is right now, and the CEO is where he belongs right now. Yep. And me and Sean, I known Sean for years. Sean's a great guy. After I left Safemoon, I was talking about random tokens. Some of them weren't good tokens, and I met Sean. He's like, hey, buddy, I could help you out with this, and we could work on some things together. And from there, I built up a relationship with Sean, the guy. Sean's a great guy. another guy in crypto that cares about the community, and these are the people I like to surround myself with. So I'm very blessed to have met a guy like Shaun, and of course a team of great people as well.
Who's the rest of the team here?
Yeah. So we have Shaun, we have Mike, we have Dev Matt, and that's like the core part of the team. But there's a lot of other guys also behind the scenes that are just working on things. People working on websites. People working on certain parts of utilities, so there's a lot of moving parts happening right now. But we're the front end, I guess you could say, is me, Shaun, Mike are the founders, and our dev guys, a good buddy, Dev Matt, good guy, hardworking guy, and working on some really cool technology.
Yeah, Dev Matt has been on my show as Rebel Matt before, and I think between Joe and Matt, we have two very unique accents here on the show. Matt's Middle America, very Middle America, and Joe, I'm guessing you're East Coast.
East Coast.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker, so originally, I mean, I live right now in Middle America, but I'm a New Yorker, and it's a hard accent to shake.
It's a hard. I worked in Manhattan for a long time, and so I'm quick to recognize the accent and miss the pizza.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel bad for going from New York, where literally you have, the top-notch best there is. It's like you got New Haven, you got New York, and then you go to Middle America.
And you get crappy pizza. I split my time between Ottawa, Ontario, and Chicago, and Chicago's famous for its deep dish pizza, which is really just crap. Let's just put it out there. And even the places that come in and say this is New York style pizza, I go over and I give them the 1 bite test. I'm like, I'll give you 1 bite. And it's like, nope, thanks. And they're out of business in like a year, not even 6 months. Anyway, let's get it. But not only did you come across a good community, which I got to tell you was a great marketing idea. It was taking an established community that had faltered and bringing it back together. But there's a lot more out there. I mean, your community now is growing like crazy. Your holders are growing as your chart grows. But the Safemoon community was big. How do you think that you can go and get those basically millions of people that were part of that Safemoon community and just at least get a small portion of them to come on over and say, Operation Phoenix is what Safemoon was supposed to be. You even said we have the roadmap for it, the original roadmap. We want to do this. Let's do it. How do you get those people to come in and be part of this group right now?
Yep. It's not just a part of, or not just them being big, but a part of what the community was all about and the vibes. Because myself, obviously Joe, we were all huge parts of the Safemoon community. Listen to videos every day. I mean, it consumed my life for like almost a year and a half. So it's not just about them being big, but it's about us wanting to recreate that environment, because I don't think it's ever been recreated since. And Joe, being Safemoon's biggest influencer, is a very big part of that. Without Joe, probably would have never thought about this or had this idea, because again, Joe was the man when it came to Safemoon. They had other ones like Safemoon Michael that were great, but Joe was the man. And so it kind of starts there, and then it goes to proving again what we say we are, and we're going to do what we're going to do, and even reaching outside the community. So it's not like we only want Safemoon people. We want everyone that wants to be a part of this.
Awesome.
Joe, what are you
Joe,
doing? How you bringing out that huge audience back? Obviously, you went from Safemoon to Squid, and I bet you brought a lot of those people over to Squid too. So let's bring him over here and work this chart here.
For a lot of holders right now, they're kind of in a daze because they want to get to a lot of people to believe the CEO of Safemoon, and a lot of them felt confident and comfortable with the CEO of Safemoon. And then nothing happened. The guy basically just screwed them over, and now it's blunt. And now they're going, okay, but who? And this is the questions they're asking: is who helped us out? Who tried to warn us? And I was probably the most outspoken critic. There are 3 people that were served legal notices: CoffeeZilla, Relativo Johns, and myself. And I was the only one. Me and John kept doing it too, but we were the ones that kept poking the bear. But going back to your question, I think that what we're really focusing on is, talking to people behind the scenes. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm a big fan of second chances, so a lot of people who basically spit my face, I'm going back to and talking with them, and I'm trying to build those bridges back again, because I want to get people with that were in the Safemoon community, other influencers as well. And we have a lot of influencers, by the way, from YouTube. I mean, a crazy amount. Sean has reached out to a lot of people. Behind the scenes, I'm reaching out to a lot of people. So there are a lot of people who we are talking to behind the scenes to see about getting them to, well, just to come along and hang out and at least say hi to the community and bring everything back together. So reignite that fire. That was massive. And we're working really hard at doing that. And I'll be honest with you, as of lately, we're being very successful. And soon we'll have more people coming along. Every single day we get Safemoon holders.
Yep.
Every single day. This is very important, actually. More and more Safemoon holders join in. People that said this is not real are just joining in. So it's exciting. You know, it's fun. It's great to see people that, you know, that hated you and now that say, hey, listen, we messed up. We're good to go. Or maybe mistakes that I've made. And it's crypto. Everyone's going to make a mistake. But everyone can, everyone can get back together and make things even better. So that's what we're working on right now.
Well, it's safe to say the audience is psyched and very bullish. Maybe I'll just use the word optimistic. Say they're Safemoon optimistic for this because they know that word. Sorry about that. The delay seems to still be there. I'll finish in 1 second. The audience is really pumped about it, and as you know from your, I can't keep going waking up in the morning and seeing 2,000 new messages, and I went to bed, only 6 hours prior. I mean, we got to put a stop to this. I mean, the only thing that puts a stop to it is a bear market and red stuff. But Joe, you famously said the other day, and I listened to you say this, and it was great. I'm quoting Joe. It says, "Green in a red market is delicious." And that was a great quote that I pulled off the other show you were on. I think it was your video, maybe. That it's delicious. And the chart started out very delicious and has continued to be very successful with it. He had a nice small pre-sale, not a giant one on pink sale and all this huge stuff that ends up wrecking it. He had a tight group of people on it, and the chart's growing. So that's out of the way. The launch is out of the way. You've established a DEX, and now, gentlemen, what's next? What's next for your group?
Actually, with that said, because there's
Pedro, hold on, he's answering. There's a delay in there I was trying to work through.
Oh, got it.
Sean, you want to answer that, Sean? Oh, you're muted.
I think the delay has returned.
Yeah, I think I'm still having a big.
Dang it!
I think it's Sean here. Yeah, I'm gonna turn down the quality of the studio here and see if that helps you guys at all.
Also, while we're doing that, hey guys, if you could hit that like and subscribe button, we really would appreciate.
Yeah, hey Joe, we got it. We kind of got some things coming up, but I have such a delay. You go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, everything got out of sync there. I think the last time this happened, Joe dropped up. Hey, Joe, I'm gonna boot you from the show.
Well,
just come on back, and that's
hey Joe, you take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset.
Yeah, just reset. Come on through. Come back.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Okay, cool. You guys.
All right, Pedro, we'll come back. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. That I don't know why that they're.
It was perfect. It was perfect before we started. It's like the funniest thing. It's like literally every. I really feel like because we talk about real issues, we talk about real stuff. I feel like they're just messing with us.
Yeah, we have plenty of conspiracy theories here. Anyway, Sean is back. Sean, how's your audio there?
Talk to us, Goose.
I think we're better now.
It's better. It seems to. I think we've just got a frame drop here where it grows over time. Anyway, Joe, welcome back. Let me unmute you. You got the question put to you guys was what's next for Operation Phoenix now that the launch has been complete.
Yep. So we have Phoenix Friday coming up every single Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I think 8 p.m. UTC. We're going to be doing Phoenix Fridays, me and Joe, every single week. Actually, we have more utility coming up. Going to have some teasers, going to have some announcements for that Friday. So we don't want to give it away here, but this coming Friday, we're going to tell you some big stuff that we have coming up that's going to start providing that revenue back to Operation Phoenix so that we can start thickening up that LP and doing certain things that need to be done to keep us moving forward, to keep this chart looking great and just keep that momentum going.
Sorry, I think one of the commenters said Sean, please pay your internet bill. I think
I'll put it, y'all need to pay these devs more money so they can literally pay their bills, man. You know what? I'll point this like this. You know, I'm a dev myself, right? And so, like in the bear market, you don't get paid. Like you just don't get paid, right? And the reality is a lot.
Did you guys hear it? Did you hear everything?
Yeah, we did. We heard you.
Yeah.
It was just a little slow on it.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. Yeah, I'm just saying, Operation Phoenix crew, y'all need to literally pay these men more money because they need for real. They can run some line directly to their computer.
Very, very delayed.
Come on.
Yeah, but
right,
let Joe take it since I'm kind of delayed.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I'll put this to you real quick. This question to you. You guys mentioned the LP. And Pedro just mentioned earning fees, basically from tokenomics and stuff like that. I believe you guys have taken some of that and actually just put it back in the LP. Did you guys do that recently?
Yeah, we recently put $10,000 back into the LP. We're looking to do more things to bolster our LP. It's, obviously the cornerstone of any crypto, but that's what we're working on right now. To touch on what Sean was saying, we're looking to do Phoenix Fridays because one thing about Safemoon that I love, that thing that everyone loved, and as time went on, it got massive, and I think it kind of broke them apart, was Safemoon Sundays, what they did. We're looking to do Phoenix Fridays. We're looking to have a way for us to talk with the community, have an open-ended discussion, and talk about things that we're looking to do. We have another utility coming out soon. More information going to be about to be released about that. But we want to have a way to have an open dialogue with the community on a weekly basis and get the community's input, because people might have some ideas that we can use. But like I said, we have a lot of people working on a lot of things behind, and there's more great ideas. We'll just put them back to work and have them doing more. So we're really focusing and looking on doing more for the community, as well as having an open communication. It's going to be Phoenix Fridays coming up, starting this Friday, actually.
Phoenix Fridays, ladies and gentlemen, be there.
You just might pop up. You know what we would love to do? In all honesty, we do a rant, or what was it? Full
rant Friday on Spaces, in which we open up the mic and just let people bitch about anything they want to, and it doesn't have to be crypto related. Then we just started doing that. We'll schedule ours to end just as yours start and send people over in a raid.
Definitely.
One of the other things I wanted to mention that I was initially confused about, and I shouldn't have been because I've been through this before, but you guys actually have two charts because you have your own DEX, which is unique for a project to have their own DEX and hold their own liquidity, I might add. And you're on PancakeSwap. So you're on two different charts here. Joe, why don't you explain to us how that works? Sean, you can too, but I have a feeling you're about 2 minutes behind here.
Sean, you want to try, or can you hear? Oh, it's...
Sean, just go ahead and tell us about it, and we'll wait for it to go.
Joe, take everything. I'm too delayed.
Okay.
All right, Joe, go ahead, bud.
It sounds good. So we're obviously on paying.
Joe, let Joe take it. Let Joe take it.
No, you're good. You go ahead, Sean.
Oh, it's painful. Okay.
No, I'm just going to override. Joe, answer that question. The two different charts, how does that work?
Yeah, so we have two charts. We have the initial chart on PancakeSwap that basically every token has. And then we have what's called a seller's DEX. That's going to be on our website, operationphoenix.network. You go there, click trade, and you can buy actually via a website. So it's a lot easier. And it becomes and we have its own LP on that website. And it's actually a seller's DEX. So that's going to allow less so, and Sean's infinitely better explained this than I am. I'll be honest.
There's no on the DEX part of it. There's no swap liquefy. The BNB and the tax gets taken out before it hits the chart, so it doesn't accumulate in the chart. For you listeners that aren't part of Operation Phoenix or part of this, one of the things you've always been disappointed is when there's a nice green run and then a big sell happens, and it wasn't because someone decided to sell, and then a bunch of FOMO guys sold and panic sold. What it was is the contract converting the tokens into BNB for the marketing or operations wallet. Their DEX does not do that. It takes the tax out before the chart, and that enables the chart to actually just represent investment, the buys and sells, and not the contract actions. So and if you go and you look at the two charts, their two charts, one has a lot more sells on it than the other, even though it's the same chart. And that's because the contract sell happens. And so people see a big one and they freak out. They're like, oh my God, someone just sold. I better sell too. And the sell-less dexes don't do that. It eliminates the... I don't know why that wasn't invented in the first place. Why they came up with this swap liquefy thing instead of just taking it out in the first place is ridiculous.
And it's horrible because, people with good intentions that might want to sell a little bit can trigger a panic sell via swap and liquefy, because someone sees someone sell and they want to sell, and then you can see this massive cascading effect due to swap and liquefy, when realistically the only issue is the tokens are being sold at the time of selling. Well, the tokens are being sold and hurting the chart even more so than it would on a seller's dex. So it's definitely something that's huge, that's very problematic for anyone that just launches a token on PancakeSwap. I
remember watching a contract a while ago. I think it was Affinity. And they had they let their contract build up to 20% of the value of the LP before they would sell, and so it would tank if the price went up to 100, just the contract selling would drop it to 75, and then people would drop it down to 50, and they're like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine. All those people that bought at 80 and 90 got hammered by your contract. So anyway, it's a good deal, and I think it's the future of everything. But Pedro, you want to take a few minutes to look at their chart here real quick?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. Now, I talked about...
Give me 1 second, Pedro. I don't have you on the screen because I've overridden it. There we go. Should be on. Gentlemen, hold on. I'll have you on here in just a second.
Let's bring them on here. I want them here. Yeah, man, I've been talking about, so I've looked over your guys' chart quite a bit, man. Nice, man. I love the sell-off. I swear I love this, man, because it actually means it's healthy, right? Like, when I start to see those ones that just do nothing but green, it's not a healthy chart. And that's, when you see big green up, that means big red down. Whereas, you guys had some good, your first initial day, man, you guys slammed. And then you guys had a small little, pause, which is good. And then from there, you see it.
Pedro's got some construction in the background again, it sounds like.
No, that's not me.
That's not. Oh, we always accuse Pedro of living under a bridge and dealing with the road construction.
By the river.
It's in the river.
Under a bridge, down by the river. You need Chris Farley, people. Anyways. Okay, now I'm starting to laugh. Focus. All right. So I love the fact that you guys actually had some pause, and now we're starting to see a sell-off. I talked about how some good buy points on the sell-off is really nice. So I talked about having this area here of the 0.027 area to the 0.22 area. Good little spot, simply because from a 4-hour standpoint, I'm looking at it going, this is a good little area. You have buyers, you have demand wicks really stepping in, right? And you had some pretty decent volume kind of really try to sell off on you guys. And this area, your buyers came in and slammed it and pushed it up even higher. So this is a good little area for myself. But also the last couple hours, we've actually had kind of a chill mode of sellers trying to sell off, but they just kind of chilled out. So again, this area right here, and this area should have been...
What's that green little tick right here, Pedro? Do we have a...
Yeah.
Once you get
this is actually a gap up. So this is actually... So remember I told you my stuff keeps getting deleted? This is so frustrating.
TradingView has been giving everyone a little bit of issues on some charts. Pull up the 5-minute chart and see what that turned out to be. But you're right, Pedro. It's healthy, and I think, gentlemen, both of you guys... obviously everyone wants to see just the supermoon go, but the most important part I always feel is a successful launch in which your holders stay with you, they bring in the people, and everyone benefits from it. And there's nothing more successful than that big green streak here, and then 2 or 3 days later it's still going up, and then people taking profits. That's what happens. You can't ever stop it. You wish they wouldn't, but it happens. But it's good. It's good because a good chart needs volume. It generates your tokenomics, and we know. You guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not even on CMC yet, are you?
Oh, wow. We just got on CMC early today. We just got on.
That's the gap
we'll
up.
Look that up right now. Yeah, so I'll bring that up here. So
wait, is this? Did we just get on during the show or just before it?
No, we got on probably about 6 hours ago, 7-ish hours ago.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you also.
Well, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I always say crypto's a roller coaster, and you know, even the best cryptos that blow up, they always still have that roller coaster. It's something you cannot fight. In fact, in order to be a crypto that does have that wild pump, you need to have that roller coaster. Because if you just shotgun up out the gate, people who sell are going to just obliterate the chart. So as fast as it goes up, it's even faster it goes down. So with that roller coaster, it adds more stability, more LP. And you know, obviously we want that to happen, that smooth kind of like rotating, that smooth like motion going up like that. So we want that actually. So this is something that's definitely helping for the chart and definitely good for LP as well to strengthen it for the buys and sells.
You guys on a CMC under?
Just type in Operation Phoenix. You should be able to
yeah,
find
it's OPHX.
There it is. Yeah, OPHX. I just clicked on the tab when he said that. Yeah, OPHX. You'll be able to see us on there.
OPHX.
Sean, I left you a
okay,
DM
yeah.
about your browser.
All right, that's excellent. Okay, so this is dope. Nice. All right, so jumping here in all reality, so you guys actually pumped. So
that's the wrong chart.
Oh, come on. Why is this not wanting to do work, dude?
There's always gremlins on these shows. If live streaming was always perfect, we'd all be bored. It's always a full-on panic.
Okay. So just to put this up here, so just real quick, you guys can see. So you all know when you go back and look at the time frame, I talked about this area right here, right? This was an area that I liked, as well as this area right here is what I liked. So the reality is the fact that it is pumping right here at this level shows that it's emotionally actually responding well to demand and supply areas. And additionally to that, and let me bring on the moving averages here now, because the moving averages a lot of times show me the increase of how people are looking at it. Just give me 1 second, and it should have had that on it. Indicators. Moving. Now, Joe, let me ask you a quick question. Now, you're from the East Coast, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually in Connecticut. When's the next time you coming out here?
I don't know. My dad used to live in Connecticut. He moved to Florida. My whole family, they live in New York. Some on Long Island, some in Brooklyn. But that's where my family. But yeah, no, my dad used to live in Connecticut. Connecticut's a great state. So
I used to live there too a long time ago. Yep.
It's really
all my
nice.
relatives live in the middle part of the state.
And one of the things that I do there, I was going to say, let's go grab pizza over at the what do you call? Over at Pepe's. Are you a Pepe's guy or not?
So I like the place. There's a place called Giuseppe's in Long Island that's really good. I used to go there all the time, and that's like the big thing I miss in New York. The food was, I mean, whatever kind of food you want, wherever you go, is absolutely delicious. No matter what, where, when, no matter what time, you always find good food. I like I say, I live in the middle of the country. The food isn't as good, and it sucks.
It's aight.
That's all right.
It's all right. Well, last little bit, I'm putting these in. I thought I had all this stuff set up. There we are. Boom. There we go. And then we got the yellow.
All right. Well, Sean dropped off. I have him changing browsers to come back on. While Pedro's sorting things out. So if I heard you correctly, Joe, on Friday, on Phoenix Fridays, there's going to be some alpha dropped about what's coming up with the project.
Hopefully we'll have information ready by Friday. It should be out by this Friday, the information. We really hate setting timelines. We constantly hate doing that. But, you know, me and the team, we talk behind the scenes, and this Friday, when we do the Phoenix Fridays, we're going to try to get something out there, some information, or even some screenshots. So, and when we say we're going to do something, when we say we're going to release utility, we're looking to launch it, unlike Safemoon, who said it, did nothing. We're actually looking to get the ball rolling immediately for the community.
Quick
Because I think
question.
the community has waited long enough.
There's Sean. Sean's returned.
All right.
I think you're not so delayed now.
So, quick question. Just talking about the utility of.
Hold on, Sean. You're on mute. Sorry, I forgot to unmute you.
All right.
Sean, now you're
So-
unmuted.
All right. So, talking about the utility real quick of Safemoon, were you guys able to keep any of that throughout the litigations and then bring it actually over into Operation Phoenix?
So the problem with the Safemoon utility is there's just none.
Really?
They have a wallet, and the wallet basically is a copy of Trust Wallet, so that's basically useless for us.
Yeah.
They have ideas and some back-end things, but once again, and this is all known knowledge. Like everyone, this is nothing that people don't know. Everyone knows that a lot of the things that Safemoon said they were going to do, which is that it was ideas. Safemoon employees recently came out and said a majority of what people hear that is being worked on is only an idea, and it's only been kind of there's written down of here's what we like to do and here's what we like to do as well, and maybe we can do this, but there's nothing solid behind majority of what the was said. But with that said, though, there have been some patents for some things done at Safemoon. And once again, it's nothing that really forms into anything solid. So there's nothing that we really need as far as utility that Safemoon has done. But with that said, there's always things we're looking to do that apply towards what Safemoon is. So that's some stuff that's being talked about behind the scenes. I wish I could say what it is because it's so fun. But there's stuff that we're looking into right now, 100%, me and the team, and we're really excited about even the potential to have the ability to look into what's going on behind the scenes as far as acquiring some stuff. But one thing, this all takes time, unfortunately, when dealing with this. So we have to figure it out when we can talk about it.
Absolutely. Okay, I love it, man. I love it. Looking forward to it. I look forward to seeing what you guys bring. In relationship to your guys' decks and how you guys are setting things up, what are your guys' fees in relationship to what's actually happening in the market comparative? Like, I brought
compared to PancakeSwap. That's an easy comparison.
Yeah, PancakeSwap. Yeah, Solana, Bitcoin, Lightning, right? But how do you guys compare into fees in relationship to that?
So that's more of a Shaun question. Are you talking about taxes on the buy and sells, or
no?
just
Like what the decks take. I guess since you are the decks, you're the contract on the decks. It's different. But if a different project comes and says we're going to launch on your decks, do Pancake takes a tiny little cut of each one? Do you take a tiny little smaller cut of each one, or is it roughly the same?
Once again, that's a Shaun question. He knows that. Unfortunately, like I said, that's super. Those questions get more intricate, so Shaun's the guy to answer that. I believe it's 0.3.
Shaun, if you can answer it, wave your hand, and we'll get to you.
Oh, he's delayed.
Yeah, it's not his browser.
Okay, 10 seconds.
He's muted.
No, he's not muted. I think he's just he's just out of sync here.
No.
Something's up. Just go ahead, Shaun. Answer the question. We'll wait for you.
I believe it's 0.3. It's a tad bit higher than what PancakeSwap is. That's actually more of a Matt question. He handles all the all the deck side of it.
It's funny is that Matt said, he was coming back from Europe, and he said, I'll probably be back for the show. I said, just two guys. The 3 or 4 is not too many. But then the question is one that Matt can answer. Anyway, we can address that later. And of course, anyone that has any questions for these guys or for us, drop comments in the actual comments, not the chat here for the show, because we always go back and monitor them, and I'll forward them to the team if you're not already in their Telegram.
I just want to say one thing about us is we don't have one central leader. Obviously, we are community driven token, but we have people that have different roles, and they're really good in their roles. Like our guy Matt is a very sharp guy. He's very smart, and he's really good at breaking down those kind of questions, and he could go even deeper into them. Very smart guy. Obviously, Shaun, me, we all have our different specialities, and in tandem, we all work together, and it's always working together for the community. Where John had micromanaged everything. So nothing was getting done because you had to ask John. So like I said, this is my conversation with people that used to work at Safemoon. Let's say you want to do something and you were working for the games department, you couldn't do it because you had to get approval for John, even though it was a simple thing. Whereas us, we all have the things that we work on independently for the project, and then we get together, we talk what else we can do and what else can we find together. So it's a very great system that we have, and it works as far as getting things done. Unfortunately, though, if you ask like a contract question, our guy Matt's the man. He knows it, and it's not something I can answer easily. Or Shaun might be able to definitely do it better than me, but Matt will be the guy to knock it out the park.
Well, if for the regular viewers of the show, they know we don't really get into the weeds that much. That was just kind of an interesting question about having two decks. We like to ask the questions that allow this to be promoted and cut up into social media clips for good sharing and all that type of stuff. Questions from the audience. Someone said, are you guys enjoying the volume that CMC listing brings?
So we just, like I said, we just got on CMC, so it just happened. So we don't have anything going off right now that we know of. We're definitely working on, on figuring out more with CMC. Like I said, this is all new to us as far as CoinMarketCap. So we got a lot of guys behind the scene that are working on it.
That's really interesting. I don't know if one of you guys have your dog.
No, I think, I'm trying to debug that problem right now, Pedro.
I'm like sitting there going like, "Oh, is that me?" And then I'm like,
I needed you to see who it was, but
yeah.
I think it's just the delay that Shaun has in it. Kaching says, "Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the daily shows with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. We're gonna get we'll give that the I don't even know where that is. We'll give the Kaching button, and then we'll give the holla.
Mr. Kaching, appreciate that. Also,
thank you very much, Kaching. Derek, thank you wherever in the world you're coming to us from. Really, really appreciate it. As we always say, the super chat things go towards promoting the show, improving it, and one day getting a decent computer so I don't have the technical problems anymore that Shaun seems to have. It sounds like Shaun's in the bathroom. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, I felt.
No, it's not. I haven't muted it. It's not him. It's someone else. And I don't think. Who's there? Is there another person on this?
Dude, somebody wrote that it's literally. Did somebody get hacked? Did any of you guys get
It sounds like someone. I get the green screen here. It could be me in the bathroom. I don't know. It sounds like someone's grunting one out here.
It sounds like someone's snoring.
This is the quality you get
on the mic
on DYOR Live, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry,
only the finest content, only the finest education here. Josh says Darth Vader is listening in.
That's right.
Oh man, whoever you are, man, if you hacked us, whatever, man, that is a funny hack. We all know we have, like, this is the part that blows me away about crypto. I was talking to somebody. I go, this was yesterday. He was like, "Why are you into crypto?" I go, "Because you have the smartest people in the world and the most talented people in it." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Dude, it's all in finance." I go, "Everybody in finance is now in crypto. I'm letting you know now." And so he goes, "What do you mean? Give me." And I said, "All right, Mr. Gensler said, don't listen to anybody else in crypto because our site is the most toughest web. We will give you true information." What was an hour later? He gets hacked. His Twitter gets hacked, dude, and all of a sudden now they're scrambling around. I mean, yeah, like so many things happen, and so it's like that's what I mean. So it's like we have talent. I mean, we have real talent here in crypto. So the fact is that
the karma button's real in crypto. You open your mouth too much, and God hits that karma button, and boop.
Like legit. But it's beautiful because.
Anyway, let's get to a couple of user comments. Ahmed says, "Congratulate you on your success and staking rate. Explain that to the audience that's not part of the group yet. What's going on with the percentage staked here?"
Yeah, so we have two staking rigs. We have a 14 staking rig at 10% of what's staked, and we have a 30-day staking rig at 50%. Now, that 30-day staking rig at 50%, we know it's not sustainable. We're just doing it for those who are getting the project early. So we're incentivizing people to stake more, but they're going to get more. So it's actually going to be really good for and really good for those who want to get involved in that.
40-something% stake. That's amazing.
Yes.
Sorry about that. yeah. That's an unheard of amount in the beginning of a project. It's just. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just want to say, it's the confidence of the community within the project. People won't stake in something they think is going to fail. They stake in something they want to get more value in. They want to succeed. And, people that stake obviously will get rewarded for staking, just like the holders that were, the first second the project launched, they got rewarded. People that stake will get rewarded. And it's a system of people that the more belief, the more you're in, obviously the more reward you can get. And, you know, with staking, it's just one of many benefits of that.
And obviously staking, high percentage staking, and I shouldn't say high percentage, just a percentage more than the average market is unsustainable unless you feed that somehow. How are you guys feeding the staking rate if you're going to, are you going to do a round 2?
So there's not going to be a round 2 of 50%. I think it's going to be changed after a certain amount of time. So that's what's being looked into right now as far as like what is going to be the new staking rate. But, you know, it's definitely something that we've been talking about behind the scenes as far as what else as far as staking to do. Once again, like I said, we have 10% for 14 days, 50% for 30 days, but that's not going to be forever. So for anyone that does buy, this is another reason why I think we're so successful as far as having high staking, percentage of the bag being staked. But anyone else that does buy, they're immediately staking because they know it's not going to be around for long. And they're right. It's not going to be around for long.
Let's see what other that's good. I mean, you can get outside above average gains for a while, but not forever unless amazing things happen. But of course, with this community you've got going here, it's shown itself here today. There is amazing things going, and that is that I'll just use it again. That's amazing. Any other questions from the audience here while we got these guys on? Sean dropped off again with his shadowy connection there. Hope he's not using Starlink.
No, yeah, he was having a problem with I think an extension. I think he's gonna reset to be back on, and he found the problem though, so that is good. Sean found the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Old man gaming. He asks, "What are the next steps?" You're gonna find the next steps out if you listen to Phoenix Fridays, their Twitter Spaces. 666 Real says, "Thanks for the live, guys." Charles says, "The high stake rate up front is nice incentive to get that awesome over 42% of total token staked. Help hold the floor. Gotta have a good floor, and if you guys seem to have that." Lumen D says, "The team has a merch shop. We haven't got to that yet, and you guys launch with a merch shop. How'd you pull that off?"
I know, right?
That's all Sean. Sean's the magic man behind it. But we do have a merch shop. We are going to be sporting some merch soon. Like I said, it just launched, so we're definitely going to be looking forward to supporting some merch soon. And, you know, it's one thing that we always liked is having our holders, you know, have our merch. So that's something that we're definitely excited about. You can get billboards, you can get banners, but the merch that people can wear, obviously, in my opinion, has been the most accessible because it's a great conversation starter. And word of mouth is definitely one of the big things we like to do for other Safemoon holders that, you know, that did buy their merch. That's basically how they'd help us spread the word. That's what we're looking to do as well.
Lisbon says, "Can you tell me why I can't access the page? Make sure you're using operationphoenix.network, not .net. A couple people have gotten tripped up on that before. The website is up. I just looked at it a minute ago. Operationphoenix.network. 42% staking is crazy, according to Tezzy. Buy and stake, easy peasy. Go ahead, Pedro.
Yeah, the question is, so the fact that you guys are pretty bomb, is there any way you could drop some alpha here within this show? A little bit of, kind of get a little bit of
you don't get anything unless you ask, but I was just pumping them.
Always ask.
Say it's Phoenix Friday is the time to do that. Let's let them enjoy their moment.
I'll be honest with you. If it's up to me, I would tell you guys everything, and it's so fun. It's stuff we're working on.
Can you give me a story? Just give me a story. A story around it. Give me like. So, if you're walking into a store, there's the alpha. Say, bam. Well, I have to come around and then touch the alpha. I have to go and smell the alpha. You don't tell me the alpha.
You know, I will say this. Our next utility is coming a lot sooner than people think.
New utility, boom, base drop.
Boom, there we go. Utility, baby. Coming soon. You heard it here. It's utility. Boom, look at that. DYOR Media Network bringing alpha to everyone. Sorry.
All right, well, it doesn't look like Sean is going to make it back for this. I think it's going to take him longer, or it's okay right now. Joe, before we get to our next part of the show, on which we go over charts and all that type of stuff, and I want to thank you for coming on the show. and talking about your project. I feel that there's good things to come. Full disclaimer, I am an investor in this project. The snail guy, or the little shrimp guy, not the whale guy, was not in a pre-sale. And as I said, I was not given anything to have these gentlemen on our show today at all either. And like that note, Pedro and I, my disclaimer is we try not to pump a token. Yeah. But clearly the excitement was large for this one because it's a good one. There's a lot of family and friends in this one too. And so we thank you for spending all this time coming on the show. And anything else you want to tell us about besides Alpha and that? What's going on? Any people you want to shout out specifically here?
I just want to say, a huge appreciation for the team. I mean, Shaun, Mike, all these guys worked really hard to get us to where we are today, and all of us are working really hard to grow this. We're not slowing down. We've had success, but success doesn't stop us. It only motivates us, and we are so excited for the next coming steps that we're looking to take. Obviously, CoinMarketCap getting today was massive, but we're more excited for what else is going to be happening. We got so much stuff lined up, and like I said, it's something that we're trying to do. Everything we do is try to obviously unify the Safemoon community back in, but more importantly, go to those other crypto holders and say, hey, listen, I know you heard about Safemoon. You cannot not have heard about Safemoon. You want in and see how it worked. We're doing it right now. So we're really excited what we're looking to do. And these guys, like I said, I sleep at times. Some of these guys just don't. I'll hop on the Telegram and go on our groups, and these people are still working, and they're working tirelessly to bring more to Operation Phoenix, and obviously to bring more in the eyes of a lot more holders. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes, and I mean when I mean 24/7 people are working on this project, it's true. 24/7 people are constantly working on building this project up. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes, and as time goes on, you'll see a lot happening in the future. And definitely this Phoenix Friday, we'll be able to talk about some of that.
Nice.
Well, you heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. Phoenix Friday. Joe, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Pedro and I are gonna continue on with our show. If any of you viewers want to stick on, and Pedro, ask your question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't have an AMA, if you don't got a jam so quick, stick around. Talk to me. I know you have your own show, and I know you do some TA. So I always like to hear other people's views on TA. Even though like I could be right or wrong, I always like to hear other people's thoughts. So even though I have a pretty good ratio of winning. But hey, that's besides the point. Yeah, you're more than welcome if you want to stick around and just talk about the charts as well, or look at a couple other stuff you wanted to as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
And anyway, for those of you listening, Pedro and I take this time to go over some charts of the day, a couple of ones we focus on a lot, and then we go ahead and take questions from the audience to go over things as well. Pedro, what do you got coming up to us first here?
Yeah, so I've been looking at, like I've talked about the AI.
Hold on, I gotta fix
top
here.
16.
Yeah, how do I move mice? So
I got you.
Okay.
Here we go. So looking at kind of the market here and what we're seeing, it's really interesting because, well, one, like the market, even though come on, why is it not doing it? Come on, work, please work. Yes, there we go. Okay, like I have to sit there and be like, work. Just I know you can work on for me. BTC had a little bit of explosion here just a second ago. Oh, okay, makes sense. I was like, wait, that's the daily, but it did push up here. So we're seeing some actually pickup of volume of BTC. Potentially, I'm looking. We've got to clear above this high right here. This supply wick. If we do not clear above this and close, it was just a fake pump to try to turn around. So I don't know what news just came out, but it was a decent pump and brought in some volume. So by chance, could you check that out, Tom? Just to let me know what's going on.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Or if anyone wants to comment about what just caused BTC to pump, let us know.
Yes, and also let us know if you want us to look at any other projects as well. So what are your thoughts on BTC, Joe? Talk to me, Goose.
Bitcoin is such an interesting crypto because it's the foundation of everything. And looking at Bitcoin, seeing where it is, I mean, one thing we can agree on: it's inevitable that it is going to pump. It's inevitable that it is going to surpass it. Halving's coming up soon, so whatever happens today, whatever happens next week, it's definitely cool. But once the halving happens, I think that's when things are really going to start getting crazy, and we can see moves before the halving that can happen as well. So it's really up in the air as far as speculation as far as what the price is going to go. But hopefully we do see some crazy moves. Hopefully Bitcoin does good, because whenever Bitcoin does good, crypto does good, DeFi does good. So that's what we're looking forward to seeing. But yeah.
Absolutely. We're seeing Ethereum now starting to pick up with some volume. I want to see the volume within Ethereum really see a little bit of a sky. I want to see some real sky popping up here. So I don't want it to pull back here, especially at the close of the day, at the last hours. You want to see it kind of pump this last little bit with a small wick. So that does bother me to sit there and see the wick with Ethereum, but we'll see what happens there. What are your thoughts on Ethereum?
I'm not a big Ethereum guy. I'm not that big. I mean, I can't say I'm not that big. I do own some Ethereum. I do own one Ethereum token, Squidgrow. It's a great token, but I will say I don't really know much about Ethereum. I'm not super into it. I mean, I'm always a BNB. I like Bitcoin, but I'm always a BNB kind of guy. But as far as Ethereum, I mean, once again, it's the same historical pattern. Whenever we saw Bitcoin pump, Ethereum pumps. So everything kind of follows along in its own way, for the most part, I should say. And I think Ethereum's definitely going to go back up in the future as well, in the near future as well.
I would agree with that 100%. Now, if we look at BNB, because BNB is the top, one of the top threes, right? It did not just experience this little pump here that BNB and Ethereum just had. So looking at it from a charting standpoint, it's really interesting that we're actually picking up on volume, but it's kind of just chilling in this level here. We still hitting the supply area here. So that 50 period moving average right here is one of those things that it looks like it's holding. Like I talked about this earlier last week. If this holds here, then expect some volume to kick in. We need to get through the supply zone area. The fact that we put in a lower high, a higher low at this level here at the 296.3 area showed some pretty solid wicks and some pretty solid buys in this level. So I'm expecting to see this push through to the next level, and it'd be nice to finally see it break out of the supply or out of this consolidation area and actually start to make some new highs. So you being a BNB holder, man, we could definitely see some at 340, potentially a 370 area here of BNB. So yeah, for you holders out there that are staking as well.
Well, if BNB does well, Operation Phoenix is going to do well. That's for sure.
Absolutely. You know, the last held all-time high was around almost 700. It was like 680 on BNB.
Yep.
And you know, we're ideally, it's always speculative, of course, not financial advice, but we are always entering a market in which we see, the next green market, and we think with the Bitcoin halving, we're going to have one. And we might see all new time highs. This is all potential, of course, not financial advice, but that is true. With that said, BNB's price right now, I believe it's 305 last I checked. I'm not sure. Actually, you have the chart right here.
Yeah, 306. Pedro, what is it, 306?
Yeah, the low?
No, the current price.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's 311 right now.
311, okay. Oh, awesome. Yep. So it's roughly around 311. If BNB just matches its all-time high, it'll be more than double what it's currently right now. So people that buying BNB, just BNB, can actually get money. If theoretically, if we do hit all-time highs, which in my opinion, I need to say that I financial advice like 1,000 times, but it's true. But I do think we've got the
scroller running here that says not financial advice.
Perfect. I do think BNB will hit all-time high, and if that's the case, obviously BNB, and by proxy, a lot of BNB tokens have that massive potential. So even if you're in a project that's kind of like doing nothing, going back and forth, that alone should be bullish enough for BNB.
Absolutely. One of the back ends behind it as well is, and I think a lot of people know, they look at Cardano, they look at a lot of the usual suspects, right? The top 10. It's really interesting to sit there and see. We're seeing crypto having a nice little massive pump, but Cardano here is actually going through and just kind of chilling here. So I do expect to see some type of sell-off now, because of the fact is that we're not seeing much of any buys. We bounce off this little area here that I designated as a potential turnaround, but in all reality, that the fact that we pierced through that 100 period moving average, I expect to see Cardano probably come back down to that 200 period moving average, which is basically that 37.52 area. When it comes to Cardano, from a price standpoint, that 200 period moving average, and then after that, we're going to test that 34, and then if we continue to go down, we potentially could come back down to the rally, which was at the 23-cent mark. But these areas here are little junction turnaround points that we could definitely see buyers step in. What's your feel on Cardano? And
I like
your thoughts on? Yeah,
I like Cardano a lot. I'm not invested in it, but I do like a lot. I have a good buddy of mine who loves Cardano. So I think you're right, though. I think going back down to 34 might be a good shot, or 36 realistically might be a good shot for Cardano. It went up, but it's trying to sustain it, and I don't know if it can sustain the current level it's at right now. I think it'll go down to 36 for a while, and I do think after that, there's a good chance we'll see another breakout like we saw before. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I might actually start buying into Cardano if it does hit that number, around 37, which I do think it can. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 37 to 34 area, and if we see another, because I'm always thinking like, I try to think like an institution, right? So an institution will not. What it does, right, is it bought down in these areas, it sold off in this area, right, and then from here it will then dollar cost average. And so it's buying more, right? Because they sold up here, they're buying more at these lower levels, and then see a turnaround. So that is kind of what I'm expecting to see. The fact is that they've talked about even our Cardano, an ADA ETF, and I was like, wait, what? Which makes me to think. I think they're going to put ETFs on all the top 10.
I'm sure There'll be ETFs for my old socks pretty soon. I mean, God, they're gonna start trying. There'll be ETFs for everything you can think of, I imagine. And I'm surprised it hasn't taken this. It's taken this long. You got to figure that they.
Sean is back. What up, brother?
He is back. Look at that. Here we go. Let me bring you back on this. Your audio should be good now, Sean.
Go ahead.
I have an ETF conspiracy theory that's
talk to me, Goose.
Totally unfounded.
Go ahead.
I'm
all about that.
I think every institution is trying to drag ETFs as long as humanly possible until we get to the Bitcoin halving where we start seeing pumps, because a great pump would be great with ETF. That would obviously be the best position. And this is all, once again, all speculative, but I think institutions have just been going, hey, listen, let's hold off. Let's slowly let everyone know what we're doing. Slowly start getting that people fueled up. The minute we see the halving, the minute we see the green market, we launch that we're doing ETFs. And it's going to shotgun, and they're looking to have it be the breakout, like we saw. Was it back in the green market where NFTs were the breakout?
Yep.
I think the next one is going to be ETFs.
Come on, man. Yeah, I think that's a good thought.
It's a conspiracy theory, of course.
No, man. I think
we're all about it here. It's
yeah. Like, here's the thing, because I mean, sometimes the truth is more stranger than fiction.
Yes.
All right. And I actually stole that from the late and great Dr. Michael Heiser. But like the reality is this, is that when I look at the market, like what was it we were talking about in October, like I expected a sell-off in the markets, and I said, it's interesting. I said, expect some bad news, something to come out, and then October 7th happened with Gaza, and like I was like, oh snaps. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, well, that breaks my heart. I pray that that's not correct, right? Where they actually created some type of thing to switch the market around. But on the backside behind that, though, is I do think that they do stuff like that. They do create news. They do create things to turn the markets around, to get people fearful so that they can take the other side. And then basically, like, that they need a sell-off, right? Or they'll have a sell-off so they can buy in at a higher level because everybody's selling off. And then they'll come in and buy it back at another level or sell it at another level comparative, so that they can actually either have offload or onload positions that they want. So it's sad, but it's true how they need it, because they need the fodder. They need the buys and sell of the masses so that they can offload their positions. So yeah, I agree with that, man. There's, like you said, they will do something so that they can actually get through it. So they'll let it keep coming down. So I think Cardano looks the same way. Talk to me, Sean. What are your thoughts? Oh, dang it!
he's still.
Are you muted?
Yeah, no, he's Sean's apparently has a tech issue that he's. I'm talking to him behind the scenes that
Okay.
he started having yesterday for one thing, and it bled over today. But that's all right. I am more than confident we're gonna have Sean back on our show another day to talk about this project. Also.
All right, so we'll jump right here. Solana here is definitely looking stronger at these levels here. It's still holding above our previous supply, which has now become demand, and we're just holding here. So it's really interesting to see what's actually happening here. Views on Solana, my friend Joe. He's busy. You're good. You're busy.
My bad, brother. I made a crypto misplay a long time ago. I bought and sold Solana for no reason, where I should have held it because it went crazy. And it's not going to slow down. You know, Solana definitely, I mean, if it went crazy how it did, I think it's going to go even higher. I'm bullish on it. I think it's hard not to be. I think I went in on it. I forgot how much it was, but it was something I really wish I held still. But, you know, looking at it, I do think Solana's going to go up. I do think Solana's going to go higher. I mean, it's shown a massive spike, and it's maintaining that massive spike recently as well. And I think it's going to continue to, at very least, maintain it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Solana.
Nice. All right, let's talk about Litecoin here real quick. Litecoin is still going sideways here. Like I've talked about, I'm expecting this to see a sell-off to that 49 area here, so I can come in and buy this at this lower levels. I know Litecoin has been having some issues regarding some of the stuff going on with Bitcoin and stuff, especially a divergence between the actual chart and what Litecoin is doing, but it's looking okay. What are your thoughts on it?
I think Litecoin definitely has the potential to move up. I haven't heard about Litecoin for a long. Last time I looked into Litecoin, it was roughly around like $1.75. So it's been a while since I looked into Litecoin. But I do think Litecoin has the potential as well to move up as well in the charts. It's right now it's looking to stabilize. It's looking to stabilize, which is doing a very good job at. And I do think once it does that, once it finds that stabilization line, I do think it's gonna start moving up.
Absolutely. It's really interesting. I had a friend of mine, I was actually teaching how to trade. That's back in 2017 when Litecoin actually got going. And at that time, it was like a couple bucks, right? Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there and we're going over certain things. And so he's like, dude, you need to get into this stuff, man. Because I'm basically, I'm calling all these, buys. And we're talking when it first launched, like the day of launch, he got in. And I'm sitting there. And we're going, I said, all right, well, went up here and expect this. So he kept calling me up. So when it had this massive sell-off again from here, down when it hit like $3, I said, we should see it kind of consolidate at this level here and then expect it to see it explode. And I told him, I said, it should make new highs of about that $6 mark area, because which is where it was. And he goes, all right, cool. So he starts buying. And I said to him, take a little bit of the profit here. If it continues, great. So he does.
We see where this is going.
Yeah, like literally. But here's the thing. He calls me up and goes, bro, you need to get in. And I'm like, nah, it's still not funny money. I don't know, man. He goes, man, it's at like $30. And I go, that's cool, man. You made pretty good. You made, what is that, 30,000%? Because, in crypto, if you're in traditional markets, 100% is amazing, right? In a year, right?
Absolutely.
In a
lifetime.
In a lifetime, yeah, like 30,000%. Wow, amazing. No, crypto. He ends up then telling me. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey man, how did that stuff go?" He goes, and this is back in September. He goes, "Oh, it got up to $99." And I said, "What? Got 99? What do you mean $99?" And he goes, "I go, you were buying it when it was." Yeah, I was like, you were buying it when it was like really like, $1. And he goes, yeah, well, that's crypto. And I said, that can't be sustained. Oh, lo and behold.
Times be changing.
Time be changing. And I'm now a crypto bro. Well, I wouldn't call myself crypto bro, but I know he still holds on to it. He stakes it. He does what he does with it, but I'm impressed with what he's done. And he holds on to it, so I always think that's always a cool little thing. Tron. So let's check out Tron here real quick. So Tron hit our supply area. we've talked about this, had a decent sell-off, all right, today. So this was yesterday. Tron sold off in our area. Now here's the key though, is it didn't put any demand wicks here. So I'm a little skeptical that this will continue. But the fact is that it's not just only hitting this area, but we're seeing a lot of volume. And this is the part that I always talk about. I said we need to see real volume step in on the previous days. And you can see it already is. So it's picking up and it's starting to get moving. So expect some type of pullback and to come back into this 8-period moving average for a continuation of a push up. If we go balls to the wall here and like we expect this, like I've talked about, the only thing that's stopping this area from going, the only thing that's stopping us from going to new highs is literally this area. After this area, this is all-time high area. Like this is $16 cents to 18 cents. So that's potentially what's going to happen with Tron here if we do continue to move higher, because that volume there is looking nice and starting to peak. What are your thoughts on Tron, my friend?
You know, I've been wrong on Tron every time. Every time. And in the chart, you can see in the chart every time where I was like, I don't know. And then the chart goes, whoop, and I'm like, gee, maybe I don't know. And then the chart just goes back down. I go, I knew it. And then it does this. And then, so it has that kind of swing to it. But I agree. I think that the recent pop in Tron isn't really right now sustainable. I think it's trying to find. I mean, right now, like I said, I could be wrong, but it's doing that kind of weird spike where you don't know if that's a new floor or not. I don't think it's going to be a new floor. I think it will go back down a bit. And then, you know, from there, who knows? Because I don't. Because like I said, I've been always back and forth as far as Tron, as far as whether it's good or not good. Maybe, you know, then you're like, maybe it is good. So it's always back and forth with that crypto.
Yeah, I was definitely, so we were bullish on it. So once I started, so I was like, okay, I expected it back in January, like early January, and also into November. I said, well, it all depends on if we keep putting in higher lows, right? And then once we put this higher high in, and I think this was last week, right? I said, I put a higher high in, expected to come back down and touch that 50 or touch that 20. I always tell people, go check their charts or go check my replay, because I'm recorded on saying this stuff. But, you know, but the reality is this, dude, it looked nice. I said, you know what, I'm starting to see volume. And I was a little afraid because I was like, we're seeing this push up. I didn't see a lot of volume. I'm skeptical in this aspect. But the fact is, the last 2-3 days, right, you've seen some real volume step in, and now it's starting to continue. I am bullish in this aspect. Yes, we do have a big seller wick here, but the big seller wick here is also up against previous supply. So this actually makes it a little weaker, and the fact that it went so deep into the supply area, I do like that. Like that's the sign of strength when it comes to the market. And then the next day we see a bunch of buys stepping in. I do expect to see this baby start to pump a little bit. So I do expect this either tap here and then come back down. But what we need to see is something like this, and it's going to be really important, right? If you want to see something like this and pop. Okay, we want to see it, and then
back in there and then launch it up.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens when it comes to this. Let's go ahead. I think these top. Oh, Shiba Inu. I always want to talk about Shiba-Ru for the algorithm. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Boom. Shiba Inu. Zach Humphreys.
Wait, no, we got to mention famous people. Squidgrow Joe.
Oh yeah. Shoot. Squid is in the house. So as you guys can see right here, we hit the supply area, tapped through it a little bit, but now we've been just putting these lower highs and lower lows. I'm not convinced here that we're gonna see some movement here. It all depends. I gotta see some real movement in the connection. We bounced off that 20 period, but we needed to see a continuation, and we're not. So as we come back and test that 200 period moving average, which is sitting at 5085-ish area, it's going to be really important to see a major buy come in this area with real volume. But what it looks like to me is we're seeing a declining volume set in this area. So I'm a little hesitant to sit there and go ahead and green line. So we'll see what happens. Matt, what are your thoughts about the community, though, about Shiba Inu? Like, Joe, I mean, because they're just diehard. I mean, almost like fanatic.
They're great people over there at Shiba Inu. You know, absolutely. The community's massive. They're so massive they fraction off, and they're still all together, but they're so big. They're like, hey, let's go over here. It's absolutely cool what's going on with them. And I'll be honest, the Shiba Inu community, those people they will live and die by Shiba Inu, and they're great people to talk with. And you know, there's a lot of people there who are holding the floor. And a good friend of mine is one of the biggest whales in Shiba Inu, and he's not looking to sell. He's not from talking with him, he's been holding the floor and doesn't care about anything other than obviously Shiba Inu doing all success. So it's really cool to see.
Absolutely, man.
They're diehards, and they ride it up, they ride it down, back up, they ride it down.
Oh yeah, easily.
Look at this.
They ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, your boy, he's holding a strong right. He's like, hold.
Easily. Yeah, he holds a massive bag, and he's holding that like it's not. It doesn't even phase him whenever they dip down. Doesn't phase him at all. He seems like a baby, and the guy holds like a lot of money in Shiba Inu.
That's what's up.
But guys, I'm gonna get going for now. I gotta go take care of some stuff. But
all right, Joe, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks so much.
Looking forward to having you on an update in a couple of weeks to tell us what's going on with the project and maybe share a little alpha with us instead of Phoenix Fridays.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right,
Squidgrow Joe, thank you very much. Remember to go find him in the Operation Phoenix Telegram room. Lots of chat going on there. They have a Discord server. You can reach all of that from their website, operationphoenix.network. And a side note, but a couple of people had trouble getting to their website and it was being blocked for some reason. It turns out if you have the antivirus software Kaspersky, however you pronounce that, because their website is so new, if you have your settings turned up, it may be blocking the website. If you're having that trouble and you're using Kaspersky, look into the it just being filtered out.
I like it. Let's go and check out the DYOR watch list. All right, so Casp, as you guys can see here, saw a little bit of a push up here. Just a tad bit. As you guys can see, it's starting to pump here. So like I said yesterday, I honestly expected this to see a sell-off because we didn't see much of, even though we had the big explosion, we didn't see much of the volume. But you can see here now volume is starting to step in a little bit, as you can see. And it's starting to move that. So it's real interesting to see. We got to see it close above this. This is key. If we see it close above this with a decent, I want to see a little bit more volume. If we can get to, let's say, what is this area here? I want to see this right here from volume wise. We need to see like at least 155 million worth of volume at this level here, because that then will show me, there's real conviction here. It's got to stay here. Right now, it's sitting at about 77 mil. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, it's gotta for us to see this really continue. But next, let's check out NetZ. NetZ right here is bouncing off of that period, the 11 cent to the 10 cent area. We were not able to close above that 8 period moving average, and even in the midst of this sideways market here, this is looking more like the normal area. So I would expect to see a little bit more of a sell-off into this level here, and potentially see then maybe in the next push up where this is what actually push. Now, quick question: NetZ, is it on its own blockchain, or is that on another blockchain?
No, they're running their own mainnet. That's why it's called mainnet Z.
There you go. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see what happens here then. As you guys can see, Ravencoin, like I've talked about, it's holding strong here. Yesterday we closed above the 8 period moving average. I expected to see a push back up into this level that we see of that 22 or that 2 cent mark area, 0.02 cent. Iron Inu here, as you guys can see here, is starting to see Iron here is expecting it's starting to sell off, and so it's 1.312 area here. I would expect us to come back down into that level for the next pump, and then if it I really doubt it if it pushes just through this real simple, but if it does, I expect to see that 90 cent area next. Let's check out Theta. Theta looking the same thing. jabs me. Like I said, I expected this. The fact that we hit that 50-period moving average, we should see some decent sell-off. What was this one? This was the B2M or B2, yeah, B2M.
You know, I forget what B2M is. You mentioned it yesterday. I forgot to follow up. Remind me what the hell B2M is.
I do not know. I'm just the chartist. I just look at the charts. And we keep it cool.
And today it's going to be sunny.
You won't. If you can't hold, you can't be rich. Depends. If you know how to trade, you sell off some out there, so you can. If it sells off, right, you can buy it back at a lower price, and then you're able. It all depends on where your skill set is at. Mr. Beast, that's funny. Lumen D. Boom. Turn anti-fishing off.
Yeah, that was the Kaspersky problem I was telling you about.
Yep. All right, and near again, it's touching the 8-period and the 20-period. Honestly, it held off of this 89-period moving average. I would expect us to see, at least if it closes above this area of that 20-period moving average, which is the orange, then expect to see a retracement back and then a push up. And so it's something that we need to see right there. But that's it in a nutshell. Is there anything we want to go over by chance? It's kind of we're actually a little early today, so.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how. I thought I was looking at like a central time clock or something like that. I was like, this is unusual. That usually we wind up with these charts pretty much right at the end of the day, at the top of the hour, top of 2 o'clock. Anyway, let's give a quick shout out to everyone that's still watching. While we had an amazing crowd at while the gents were on from Operation Phoenix. As you may suspect, they've departed and started discussing the project again in their Telegram room. But those of you that stuck around, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And please come back. Come back and watch us. We're on a couple of times a week. Our schedule, if you subscribe on Twitter to Striking Balls or Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, you'll find us. And of course, if you subscribe to the DYOR Media Network, if you're one of those people watching that has not hit the subscribe button, then do it right now. And so thank you for everyone we've had over 200 views here today, Pedro, on our live show, which is big for us. Chuck says down at the Mexican joint having a drink after getting his full body scan. I need to get one of those full body scans and make sure everything's going well with the old Striking Balls machine here. But Pedro, I think we're coming to the end of the show here, unless someone has some other topics to talk about here.
Well, I think what's interesting is I was looking at some of the news that kind of popped up, and it was I saw this, and I sent it to you in Telegram, right?
Oh yeah.
The cost to send 100,000, and I was shocked, dude. The how much it costs, and do you want to pull that up, or do you want me to? What are your thoughts?
I'm not sure I can bring it up quickly here. If you bring it up.
I'll do it right here. Yeah. Boom. And I'll do this right here. So you can see this is kind of blew me away. This is
an amazing chart, ladies and gentlemen, here.
Yeah, and it actually really blew me away. So a wire transfer, if you were to send $100,000 across wherever, right? On wire transfer, you're going to spend off $100,000 about $150 to $500 based off of this, right? And this right here is off $100,000. Now, if you use Visa and MasterCard, it's going to cost you between $100 to $300 based off of. And honestly, I don't understand the difference between one over the other, why that would change so much. And we're talking, that's 300%. I'm like, it's like 400%, 300%.
You mean on the Visa MasterCard?
Yeah.
It depends on your card. Like if you have a rewards card, like your free airline miles, those aren't free. You're paying for them with each transaction, so you get charged more in fees.
Roger that. Okay. And then if you look though, and this is kind of, so it goes. So you have wire transfers cost you the most. You have Visa, MasterCard, boom, which is a little less. Then Ethereum, and we all know Ethereum. That's the highest. Like that's the juggernaut. Nobody wants to use Ethereum because of the fees. But then when you look at it and compare it to all the other traditional TradFi systems, it is a dramatic difference. We're talking $5 to $20. All of a sudden, I sat there and I realized this is why Kevin O'Leary is so pro crypto, and a lot of those guys on Shark Tank are pro crypto. It's simply because they send a lot of money to these small businesses, whether it's 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, 2 million, 5 million, but over a year period, they're sending hundreds of millions of dollars transferring back and forth.
Yeah.
And you could see, man, millions of dollars. It blew me away.
Just wasted.
Wasted. Versus going through Ethereum, Bitcoin, $1 to $5. Yeah, Binance Smart Chain, 10 cents to 50 cents. Bitcoin Lightning Network, 0.01 or 1 cent, right? And then you get Solana. Solana is 0.00025. I mean, if I am these rich, mega wealthy people, it makes no sense to sit there and, when Elon Musk had to send money over, and what was that, $44 billion?
Remember, though, when you have significant amounts of money, you can make your own deal with the bank. I mean...
I agree, but still, either way, I don't think he got 0.000025.
No, I don't think so either. But let's turn this around. It's not just the wealthy people. I listened to a guy the other day he's a Kenyan, and he used to send money home to mom. She lives in a village north of Nairobi, out in the middle of nowhere. And he'd send money home, and she would have to drive a long way to not drive, but get taken to the MoneyGram office that was on the outskirts of Nairobi. And so it would cost her time and money to do that. And also he was sending MoneyGram, or Western Union, whatever it was a lot of money. And, and while they get good fees in certain countries, then he switched to using like Tap Tap Go or Tap Tap Charge or Tap Tap Send. In which you can basically send any money to anyone in the world, and the fees are very low. But the fees to off ramp that, they get you there, especially because it kind of gets sent to a debit card and then it comes off you and they charge you, that kind of stuff. But he said, what we just started doing? He said I just opened up a joint crypto wallet, and we don't even send it anywhere. We just both use the same wallet. Mom, wow. I put the wallet on her phone. And I was like, well, how does she get the money? How does mom in, 20 miles north of Nairobi get that into cash where she can buy food and pay her bills? Well, in Nairobi or in Kenya and in a lot of African countries, people, I can't remember the name of the app or the word, but they use the mobile phone credits because everyone's phones are prepaid mobiles or a certain type of account, in which you pay with your mobile phone, and it's just in your mobile phone account. You get so many, mobile phone credits, and someone says that's 10 credits or whatever it is, and you just tap your phone and boop, and it goes into their mobile phone account. It's instant like that, and it's basically free. So it's really supplanted the use of cash almost entirely in a lot of these countries. But a lot of the convenience stores that you go buy a lot of stuff in don't necessarily take crypto, like tap your phone crypto. But what they do is they say, oh, we'll exchange your crypto for mobile phone credits. And so mom can go to her local store. Doesn't have to go all the way to go to MoneyGram near Nairobi. Just goes to the store and says, I want to trade some stable coin of some sort, whatever Junior's sending me, for this. And if she's having problems, she just calls Junior, and Junior does it because they're on the same wallet. And then the guy gives her the amount of credits, and there's zero cost, no cost, none. And not only that, but since you're not sending money anywhere, you don't, it's not like, oh, you better check in with FinCEN and all this type of stuff. Oh my God, sent more than $10,000 in a year. Just using the same wallet, just doop. And so it's amazing, and that fee with Solana there, frankly, is amazing. I mean,
dude, I know. That's what it was like. I was blown away. Like that is mind blowing. I would love to see them go through and put all the networks. Obviously, this is more centered around Solana, right? I mean, but I'm pretty positive that there are other major networks that you could do, and it would even be lower than that. I'm almost positive, because like this is why blockchain, this is why crypto is so different. This is why it is a fundamental shift in the way we do finance overall. I mean, from a minute transaction that we send to literally you spending billions of dollars on buying a company. This right here is a paradigm shift.
Yep.
And it's
except when Solana goes down and you can't send shit.
Sorry, here's the thing.
The whole network's down all over the world.
But here's the thing. If it's down there, I can just go through somewhere else.
Right, that's a good point. Well,
You know what I'm
here in Canada last year or 2 years ago, the Comcast of Canada is I almost said a bad word there. But, a company called Rogers, and one of their major backhaul backbones went down, and it took down their like DNS server network too, their internal thing that everyone uses before it goes out to the world, and like the whole parts of Toronto in southern Ontario ground to a halt because nobody could pay for anything. They couldn't pay for anything. Their internet was out, and then you're like, oh, I'll use my cell phone. Well, the cell phone carriers, or it goes by the air, and then they just turn it into a landline and backhaul it into the internet. So those went out too, and all of a sudden it was like 1984, and you're like, well, let's go read a magazine, you know.
I'm gonna go read a book. You know what?
Might not be such a bad thing.
I was sitting there. I was talking to this kid, and I said, "Oh yeah, you might want to go download this book, or get it on." And he goes, "Oh no, man, I'll just actually get it the retro way." And I go, "What's the retro way?" He goes, "The physical copy. I like to read out of the retro." And I'm sitting there going, like, you know what? That's actually not a bad thing. And the reason why is his depth perception. He's like a 17, 18-year-old kid. And his depth perception isn't the best because he spent a large portion of his life looking at a screen.
Oh, yeah. I can identify with that.
Yeah, and I just sat there and I said, you know what? That is so cool. I just love that. I just was like, they call it retro. Well, retro's good. So, yeah. Apart from that, also we have a few other new stuff we were talking about earlier. Do we want to go over that or wait?
I think I'm done for today, Pedro. Right. I had a lot of build up for this show, and
are you pooped out?
I am, and I think I'm gonna go take Mrs. Striking out and get a cup of coffee here.
Nice, man. Well, hey, get out of here, you filthy animal.
Well, I do have to say, ladies and gentlemen, what a great show we had today. Obviously, I wish more of them were like this, and we'll try to get other exciting projects on like that, like the Operation Phoenix guys. I highly suggest that. I mean, I'm sure all of you listening that are left here, sticking it out to the end, thank you very much. And you're now very familiar with Operation Phoenix, but if you haven't, please go check them out in their Telegram room. If you go to operationphoenix.network, there's a link to their Telegram. Don't trust what people send you in the DMs, because they'll be DMing you scam sites. There are a bunch of them already. But Pedro, we had a nice show today. I liked it a lot. Pedro? Except Pedro already gone? Pedro's on...
No. Oh, for whatever reason. This thing... Anyways, so let's jump back here what we were saying. It's really interesting to sit there and see... Joe stuck around, was actually going over the charts.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his New York and Long Island accent there, and Brooklyn, wherever he's from. He's from that little from Manhattan east there. There's that Brooklyn and into Long Island area that they have just a dialect that we'll just call interesting.
I love it, man. I love it. I remember when I used to call out east when I was growing up to California to deal with bills or whatever, right? And I'd always get somebody from New York, or where with my bank, because I had a few other banks that were out this area. So I remember I'd be like, "Where are you from?" "You're from New York, right?" And some of them are like, "Nah, we're from Boston." "Why are you asking? What do you mean? What does that mean?" I was like, "No, your accent." She goes, "You're the one who has an accent." I was like, "Oh, all right, my bad." So,
you're
like, it
you're
was
the one
total
with an
ethos.
accent.
Yeah, it was just like, especially people from Connecticut or other places. They're like, "We were here first. You were last." And I always crack up. I'm like, actually, good point. Always quick-witted. That's one thing I loved. Anyways, we'll keep talking forever. Look, get out of here. Let's do the sayonara, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate every one of you. How about DYM
Dimension
launched yesterday? I'll check them out.
All right, we'll give it to you. He was good with the super chat today, so we'll pause the end of our lives for that.
Boom. Appreciate that. Let's check it out. DYOM. DYOM. Let's check these out. Ooh, just launched.
Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna get ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Yeah, you're gonna need to put that on a shorter time frame. But that looks like a successful launch to me.
Yeah, looks decent.
Ka-ching, what's their community like? That's the question. And do you have any influence in that community?
Yeah, absolutely. $4. All right, so launched at $4.
Can you scoot that? Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a nice healthy chart. Big
Yeah,
gains on the open, sell off. Got the paper hands out, or whatever you want to call them, and then starting their march up.
I'm definitely loving seeing more buyer wicks than seller wicks. You can see right here, hardly any seller wicks. As it's coming down, you have buyers.
You mean in volume?
Yeah, just in general. So if you look at the wicks, right? I'm always looking at wicks. You can see here, as we're selling off, we're seeing people buy in.
Oh,
buy
yeah,
in.
I see what you mean.
Sell off, buy. Boom. Sell off, buy. Sell off, buy. I don't see a lot of seller wicks coming except for the peaks, which is where you want to see seller, right? So you can see here, this is, I don't know who's trading this. This is whether this has been, they're trading this at, it looks like institutions, honestly.
Ka-ching, send me a link to that community. I'm going to rate it. And if there's anyone that's an important influencer in that, send me that guy's name. Or I shouldn't say guy. Send me that person's name.
Not bad at all. It's trading perfect.
They got a big community. Be glad to rate them and have them on our show. On 20 plus sexes already. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't heard of them.
Wait, you're 20 plus X?
No, they're on 20 central exchanges already.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Wow, they popped quick. Here, I'll put this close because this is really interesting. You can see right here at these levels, the 8-period moving average. We're playing off of that 1 hour 8 period. So you can see here we found support on that hour chart. Look, you can see that we're bouncing off of this. Boom. So if we close below, look at the hour, right? We want to look at the hour chart, and you want to see what's going to happen if we close below here. A good buyback area would be right at this level here, real quick, brother. Mr. Ka-ching, actually one. I guess it could be right here. It's where you would want to buy on that 1 hour area. And also we have that 20-period moving average, which is going to be the 8 on the 2 hours. So again, it correlates nicely. So this area is right here, something that I would look at, and also maybe a retracement back down into this area here. Boom. Yeah, this would be a decent area right here. You can sit there and see already. So yeah, go check that out. This is not bad at all. Not bad at all. Boom. We're gonna keep these guys up on it. We'll see. DYMS.
The guy we talked about. Oh, look at that echo. The guy we talked about helped with Celestia, also involved with Dimension.
Alright,
Dimension with a Y. Dimension. We will spell it our own way. Thanks, Ka-ching, for bringing that to our attention. We'll put it on the list of things to talk about.
All right, definitely. We'll definitely be following that one to see what's going on with it. Hey, look, do we have any more money in our portfolio by chance?
We have $19,000 in USDT.
Yeah, let's put in a buy if it comes back down to this 562 area. Let's put in about $300, $400.
300. We got 19 grand. Come on, man.
Okay, 1,000.
All right,
like
there we go.
I put 1,000 in right here, and then if it does a little bit of a sell-off, we'll put about 400 in this down in this lower area. But I think it will continue simply because you can see every volume spike. Even though we're seeing an increase in sellers, I think it'll see another decent volume spike.
Would you say the number was a buy order at what? 3.5, 3 what?
Nah, we're looking to first buy. This is why I want to split up the buy. First, I want to split it up to 564 area to 560.11 because that's the 8-period moving average down into 546. So this is where you would kind of buy in as you're seeing, and then if it sells off, I want to then also buy again down at that 519 area.
You totally lost me on that. I wrote down buy order between 564 and 11.
564 and 519.
Okay, those are the two spots.
Yeah, but most stuff, ka-ching. Most stuff, brother. Appreciate you. All right, ka-ching.
No problemo, kachingo.
All right, my friend. Anything else you want to do?
No, it's time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for everyone tuning in today. Kaching got in under 5 on that. Pedro says most catching.
Most ifs will say most stuff.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining in today. Today was a fantastic show. I love these big days like this, and I'm glad that we got that whole Operation Phoenix crowd coming in. We'll for sure have more of them on, just like we get the Mainnet Z crowd coming in now and then, and we're going to go try and raid this Dimension group here and get some of those people to come in. But anyway, Pedro and I are going to be on tomorrow. Our guest of the day tomorrow is called DYOR Dex, coming up with a new type, sharing our name also again, but coming up with a new type of DEX that's a cross between DEX tools and an actual DEX. Should be interesting to hear how they're going to accomplish that, since DEX Tools has quite the developer crowd working on it, improving their website every day. But I'm sure they'll let us know, and should be interesting to hear from them. So please join us, and of course, we'll have to have an Operation Phoenix update at some point tomorrow to continue the FOMO for that. So anyway, on behalf of Pedro Garcia, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad that everyone joined. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 5 p.m. UTC, and as I say in Australia, that's someday out in the future. Anyway, see you tomorrow, so be there.